Hello everyone. In this video, I will explain how to install, configure, and use WordPress Scan on Kali Linux. So what is WordPress Scan first of all? If you're worried about malicious attacks on your WordPress site, WordPress Scan is a powerful scanning tool for WordPress websites. It checks for a wide range of security vulnerabilities, making it the perfect tool to secure your WordPress sites. If you're already using Kali Linux, WordPress Scan comes pre-installed on your system, so there's no need to worry about installation anymore. However, if it's not installed yet, you can type this following command in your command prompt on Kali Linux: sudo apt install WordPress scan. And then you just type in your password for your user. All right. Okay, so before we move on to the next part of this video, I'd like to explain a bit about WordPress Scan and its features. So some features of WordPress Scan include checking installed plugins and themes against its database of known vulnerabilities. WordPress Scan can brute force WordPress logins using a password list. And WordPress Scan can detect installed WordPress versions to know whether it's outdated or vulnerable. However, this is one note. I'd like to just remind that when using WordPress Scan, you must always have proper authorization before scanning any website. Alright, so let's get started with how to use WordPress Scan in Kali Linux. So the basic syntax for WordPress Scan is WPScan --URL target URL and options. Okay, so let's use an example here. The example I'll be using is called Damn Vulnerable WordPress, which is an intentionally vulnerable website that you can download and configure yourself. And it's a great way to provide a sandbox environment for learning, practicing, and pen testing WordPress vulnerabilities and security. Okay, so let's try and scan it. All right, so as you can see, we have here listed a bunch of vulnerabilities, such as XMLRPC being enabled, some interesting entries from the headers, the WordPress README, and the version of the WordPress used. The WordPress theme in use is 2020 and seems to be vulnerable. And we have many more over here. Okay, so what if I want to discover usernames, plugins, and themes on a WordPress website? It's simple. We can use the same command we did and then add -- enumerate U. And U here stands for username. See, as you can see here, we have a user that's identified here, which is the admin user. Okay, so there's a bunch of other syntaxes that we can use other than P, such as P, which is for plugins, T for themes, VP for vulnerable plugins, and VT for vulnerable themes. And we can combine these, for instance, plugins and usernames on the same line by separating these letters with a comma, like so. So let's say I want to check for plugins and usernames. So it's just U, comma, P. There you go. Alright, so basically, the first command that I did in this video was a full scan. And if you just want to limit it to, say, scanning for usernames, passwords, Then you can use the enumerate function that I did earlier, and then use U and P to say just scan for usernames and plugins. All right, so next we're gonna save our output to a file for later review. And we can use this following command to do so. WPScan URL, our URL, and then dash dash output, and then let's say our output dot txt. Enter. It's gonna take a few seconds usually, and there you go. Now let's try opening our output with a text editor, and there you go. There is our output right there. All right, say our target has rate limiting enabled. That's not a problem because we can slow down our request by using this command right here. So let's just get into it. WPScan our URL and then our target URL over there, and then we put in throttle, and let's say we want to limit it to 10. Enter. Yep, and there you go. It'll be a bit slower because I put in 10 here, but it'll bypass the rate limits if our target has it enabled. If you'd like to check out a full list of WordPress scan commands, you can always use this command right here, which is gonna list you the complete documentation for WordPress scan commands. And that is it for this video today. And thank you for watching. I hope you've learned something new, and I hope you can continue to become better at using WordPress scan for pen testing.